JJ McCarthy. I've never seen a game like that. I've never seen a quarterback do that. So the fact that JJ McCarthy ended up with a 98 passer rating after the first three quarters is remarkable. I mean, the Vikings still only finished 3 for 12 on third down and 6 fewer first downs than the Bears. They were unwatchable offensively for 3 quarters. But I have found my JJ McCarthy comp. It's Baker Mayfield.
No, it's
Played
not.
at college power, tons of emotion, a lot of energy. I wish they were bigger. But all they have to do, Baker and JJ McCarthy, can go into slumps and get reckless. But if they make one big throw and they gain that confidence, their velocity and their accuracy changes. And he, after that pick six, which is about as bad as any pick six I've ever seen. I mean, he was bad in the first 3 quarters. But then there was a moment for J.J. McCarthy, and this is very Baker Mayfield. There was a moment, it was in the 4th quarter. He hit Justin Jefferson with a seed, and this play right here unleashed something. The next 3 drives, it was a different J.J. McCarthy, and this is Baker. All Baker needs to step into it, one rope, and Baker changes the ball.
Okay, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. This is not Baker Mayfield. This is not Baker Mayfield. I just can't. It's very obvious how this game unfolded, okay? JJ McCarthy is essentially a rookie. It was his first game ever in the NFL. This is his first true live game since he got injured. So the last time he played a live game was in college well over a year ago. Well over a year ago. The official, what would it be, like a year and a half or more? So a ton of time of him not actually playing real football. Real football. Preseason practice doesn't count. But real football. He's on the road. It's Chicago, a division rival. It's rocking. It's rocking. Against an experienced defensive coach on the other side of the ball, by the way. I'm not telling you that he's, Spags out there or something, but like not some young guy who's just like trying to figure it out. A guy who's been a coach for quite some time, an experienced coach. Okay. First game ever, Monday Night Football, prime time, all the pressure in the world on him. This Vikings team knows they're great. They've seen what they're able to do the year before. He knows Kevin O'Connell's great. He knows the Vikings are great. He knows all that pressure. And what happened? The beginning of the game, everything was sped up. Some of it was on JJ. Some of it was not on JJ at all. They couldn't run the ball. Everything was like 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Again, the crowd is rocking. The pressure is getting him. The pocket keeps getting squeezed. The play, the getting to the line, and this is what we don't really know 100% for sure. Is it more on JJ? Is it more on Kevin O'Connell? It's hard because these are all scripted plays in the beginning of the game. So it's hard to understand why they were so late. Like why every time the play clock was running down, right? And Troy Aikman, again, we're so lucky that this was Troy Aikman calling this game because he kept talking about, like, listen, when the play clock's running down, it's like you're trying to look at the defense. You can't really look at the defense now. And like now you're trying to get the play off, and like it's just harder to be successful. It's not a matter of like, oh crap, 2 seconds to go, let me call hike now. Like, no, like it actually inhibits your ability to actually successfully execute the play, right? It becomes problematic, and that kept happening. And then now things are starting to spiral. It's just like, oh no. And everyone can feel it. If you feel it as a fan, they feel it as players. Okay? JJ feels it. Kevin O'Connell feels it. Justin Jefferson feels it. They're all like, oh man, this is bad. This is not good. Like we got a rookie quarterback out there. And so you're seeing those pains undeniably. But then what happened? You started to actually be able to run the offense. You were able to actually now run the ball, move the chains, okay? You were able to actually have the play without the play clock running within 1 second and then calling snap. You were able to actually just run the offense. And then Kevin O'Connell's play calling, I talked about this in the comment section with Travis O'Shea, just a clinic, just perfect play calling. And then you're putting the ball in JJ's hands on that conversion, when he then turns into a touchdown with the read option. Just perfection and beautiful read by JJ and then run. It's just great. And the resilience that he showed, the leadership that he showed. I just think it was awesome. And that's why it's like comparing it to Baker Mayfield right now, it just does him a disservice. I know people absolutely love Baker Mayfield. I get it. But the maturity and the poise and the groundedness that JJ McCarthy showed, and saying that JJ got settled once he started making a couple plays. No, the offense as a whole was a bit disconnected. And they were asking JJ McCarthy to do way too much in the beginning of this game. He was adjusting protections and moving guys, and it's just like, as the clock's running down, and it's just like, whoa, what are we doing here? Like, let's just make this really, really simple here. Like, why are we doing too much? And it was too much in the beginning. It was too much. And then once everything kind of got settled, it was good. Right, it was a terrible interception. They could not move the chains, right? It was 3 and out, sack. It was as ugly as it gets. Like, it was uncomfortable. You start to feel bad where you're just like, oh man, this is not good. And you can see the rookie in him. You can see that, like, yeah, there's going to be some growing pains. And I think there still is going to be growing pains. We're going to have really bad interceptions. I said that going into this season. There are going to be moments that you're just like, oh no, that was not good. To think that someone like JJ McCarthy could just step in here and just boom, throw for 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns and 8 interceptions and a 107 passer rating. Like, it's just not going to happen, which is why I said, let's look at this Minnesota Vikings team and said, what if JJ McCarthy was just average? Which, again, not saying he's going to be or predicting. I said, let's just say, how good would this team be if the Vikings were, if JJ McCarthy was just average, right? Not amazing, not awful, not constantly losing you games, but also not constantly putting the game, putting the team on his shoulders. Would you win? And here we go. When you have a great game, when you play great down the stretch but play awful in the beginning, that averages out to average, and you won the game, right? And listen, I know Caleb Williams wasn't great with the Chicago Bears, and let's face it, the Chicago Bears should have won that game, right? But they left the door open. You have a rookie quarterback that everything was seemingly just crashing on him, and yet they were still able to be opportunistic and take advantage. The Vikings were able to capitalize on that door being kept open. The Brian Flores defense was awesome. Justin Jefferson was already getting connected with JJ McCarthy. The run game was finally, again, moving the chains, getting shorter yardage, actually just getting first downs in general, which is like, okay, we're not so far backed up now. You did allow JJ McCarthy to be able to just play a little looser, play a little bit more comfortable. It was interesting. It really was a fascinating game. 13 for 20, 143 yards, 7.2 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, the interception, 3 sacks, 98.5 passer rating, 2 carries and 25 yards, and 1 touchdown. He had 7 different receivers. They were 3 for 12 on third down. They were 2 for 3 in the red zone. So it was like, all right, there you go. That's a red zone offense. If you go 2 for 3 in the red zone, if you convert at that rate, you're money, man. You're money. 8 penalties. Definitely up there. You want to see that better, but around the NFL, everybody was just through the roof with penalties. And so 8, if anything, was probably on the lower end. But just to keep in mind, last year, 8, a little over 8 penalties was the the highest. Was the team that averaged the highest was a little over 8. So you obviously want to figure that out. But for a week 1 game, when quarterbacks all around the NFL were rusty, were all played uneven games. We had a handful of quarterbacks that played lights out, perfect, unbelievable. Wow, that's why they're amazing. And then you had other quarterbacks who were just like, they had a great quarter, they had a great drive, they had a great throw. Ooh, not so good of a throw, not so good of a decision. Wow, that was I don't know what that was. And so we saw a little bit of that with JJ McCarthy combined with him being a rookie, right? And I am going to just keep calling him a rookie because he's a rookie. But you could see what this team can do even when it's clearly imperfect and when it's not, not lights out from your quarterback, but your quarterback is going to continue to get better. He's going to continue to grow and evolve. I do promise you that we are going to see other games that they aren't able to pull this off, that he isn't able to have a great fourth quarter. Because that's just football, and that's a young quarterback, right? Like you're gonna have some messy moments. You're gonna have some messy moments, and so I want Vikings fans to just keep that in mind. But it's just the sheer fact that everything was closing in on him, and it just really felt like, oh my God, how the heck is JJ McCarthy going to see his way through this? Just the sheer fact that he was able to not only see his way through this, but then win the game, right? And be a huge reason why. A huge reason why. Not just kind of manage itself to a victory. Really just speaks absolute volumes. Absolute volumes. And really, really impressive. And in JJ McCarthy's first ever game and victory, Monday Night Football, on the road against a division rival that the crowd was absolutely rocking. I mean, it was so loud there. I think they saw on the broadcast, like, they don't recall it ever being that loud. I mean, like, it was so loud. And to have JJ McCarthy answer the call there after having every reason just to be like, please get me out of here right now, was really, really impressive. And it's just, we're not going to evoke Baker Mayfield's name right there, okay? So I'll have none of it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about JJ McCarthy? Were you shocked that he was able to bounce back from the shaky start? How do you feel about the Vikings and JJ moving forward? How do you feel about the Baker Mayfield comparison? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.